Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. Today I want to ask the question. Has the masjid divorced itself from the state like the church has divorced itself from their states? If you look at what happened in Turkey, where the Usmanians were and where we had a Khalif about 100 years ago, just over 100 years ago, that certainly happened after the First World War. And it came about as a result of Kemal Ataturk taking over presidency of the country. He fought as a general defending Turkey from invasion and takeover. And in his writing, he actually said that it was the indulgence and the way the imams in Usmanian Turkey were living that caused Turkey to become the sick man of Europe and to become so backwards technologically. And so that's why they were defeated in the World War, in the First World War, alongside the Germans, or the Huns as they were called. And so he actively went about as president, slowly separating um, the Usmanians. And in fact, he evicted Arab, Arabic dress from Turkey completely. He sent a group of linguists up into the mountain and they came back with the old Turkic language. They formalized it, and that's the language of Turkey today. Do you know that even the Adhan initially, under his changes or reforms, was made in Turkish for quite a few years? It's only after about 20 years or so, roughly, that the Adhan went back to Arabic. But he instituted a complete reformation of Turkish society together with farming and education and railways and industries. He changed it completely. And he made Turkey secular. And the Turkish people, up until today, they frown when you walk around with an Arabic tobe. That's Arab dress. He changed the Turkish dress from tobes to Western style suit and tie. So there was a clear case of separation of masjid and state. However, Turkey today is slowly going back towards Islam. If you go to Turkey, the interesting thing about it is you will find girls walking around. One girl's got a scarf on her head, and the other girl's got a hairdo with her hair out loose. I'm not making that a comment. I'm a man. Uh, I don't know anything about scarves and about girls and their aura and women stuff. It's not my business. I don't know why men make comments about all these things. We don't know everything, so don't make it if you do. But I'm just saying that what you see a lot of in Turkey, of course, you see a lot of secularization and, these lost people. You see a lot of beer gardens in some cities. You see a lot of alcohol in Turkey. Um, which is disheartening considering that there was a Khalifa 100 years ago, and now you see alcohol all over the place. And to see Turkish people and to hear them speaking that beautiful Turkish language, but they're all drunk. It's disgusting. There's no other word for it. Looks like there's no purpose to their life except getting drunk, like so many of these Westerners. I can't get my mind around that. If we look at other Muslim countries, then bear in mind, first of all, that there was never such a thing as a Muslim country. All these so called Muslim countries that we have today, that is a creation of the West. Remember, they won the Second World War. And then they divided up the entire Muslim world into countries, each one with their selected president or government. So this wasn't a decision by Muslims to divide up and to separate the masjid from um, the sultanate. It was a Western imposed thing. In fact, it was a Frenchman and an Englishman, Sykes and Picot. It's called the Sykes-Picot Agreement. They divided it up into the pieces that it is today. So today you have Western countries with Western style governments, and um, you have borders, and you have cross border travel, and you have nationalism that is emphasized instead of Islam. But yet, on the ground, people are still saying we are Muslim. A lot of people from those countries, they don't like being called Moroccan or Egyptian or I'm a, I'm I'm a Saudi. Some of them say that, yes, to make that distinction, especially the young generation, because they are all on social media. So on social media, everything is about what what race are you and what nationality are you? Because they all have CVs, and those are the questions. That's the information that's on your CV: name, surname, nationality, race. So the Muslim world is also going that way. And that is a long way from where we are supposed to be as Muslims. It's not just about making salah, making your shahada, and going on Hajj and Umrah and fasting in the month of Ramadan. It's paying your zakah also. It's not just about that. It's about how we live. Too many people have this notion that if you make your salah, you can do whatever you want to. You're safe. You make your salah. So whoops pops, they make their salah and then that's it. They do all kinds of other stuff. Where are we going to? Our statistics are now following that of the Western world. You know, I had an argument with a white man years back, about 20 years ago. And I told him, you don't have family life, you know, then there's no emphasis on your family life. Do you know what his answer was? Your people still going to get there. And that is true because our divorce rates are also way up there. You can see it. It's clear, clear as day. They're not getting married anymore. We are now getting divorced like they did. And why? Because everybody must have their own opinion about everything. It doesn't matter how uninformed you are, you must have your own opinion, and that's going to cause you to clash with your spouse. Because a woman and a man are different. As much as you all want to be guys, it's ignoring the obvious. A man and a woman, a man and a woman is made differently, very differently. In everything, in physical strength, in mental capacity, and I'm not talking now about intelligence, I'm talking about the way your brain and your thinking is made up. Your brains are wired differently. A man can't get pregnant. A woman can. But anyway, in the Muslim countries as a whole, the Muslim populations are nothing like Western populations because the West and the Christian church, they've done those things. They've done separation of church and state. They did it themselves. And they did it together with societal reform. And in Muslim countries, yes, there is societal reform because the one thing that people must do is work to earn money to buy food. And a young man, and even a young Muslim woman growing up, they can see that they need money. They don't, they don't, they might not want a lot of money, and they might not want a Bugatti and a Lambo and a mansion with 6 swimming pools. They might not want that, but they know that they need money. You can see that. And especially if a young Muslim man gets married, he knows, I need money. I remember clearly what it was like in my early 20s when I got married. I had nothing, nothing. I was working, but I gave all my money to my parents. And they never had anything because they couldn't save. They used to spend the money on normal family maintenance, food and rates and taxes and all those things. So I had nothing. And when I got married, the first thing I could see was I needed money. So it's still like that. And it's even worse nowadays because you need a lot more money. And with globalization, we are all working for the big banks. So even Muslims are drawn up. And that is why young Muslims are drawn away because Islam doesn't offer you that. And Islam is seen as something that you do in your private life. Right enough. It's a religion is a private thing. No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you what to think or feel. So work comes and work takes the first priority. When you are young, you don't think you're going to get old. You don't think about dying. You just want to earn a living and earn a good living. That's what you want when you are young. And so young people are immersing themselves in ways of earning a good living. And social media sometimes provides this. But us, the parents, we don't. We can give them things, yes, but we don't give them the ability to have a good job. And we need to think about this. Too many Muslims are too fatalistic. You know, we don't follow the hadith of tie up your camel. We just leave the camel there and then we expect the camel to be there when we come back. And so things just happen of its own accord. That's being too fatalistic. Yes, everything is predetermined, but not like that. We are supposed to do things. No community will be improved unless they improve themselves from within. So each and every person should try to improve. And not you don't improve by becoming westernized. You don't improve by becoming anti-Islamic. You don't improve by doing things to try to show other people that you're not really Muslim. Then if you want to do that, then change your name and become a non-Muslim. Especially the men out there who are so spineless. You want to say anti-Muslim things and you want to mock, but you don't have the courage to just change your name. You don't have to go to church, just say your name is George. If you're a real man, then you will do that. Men do what they want to do. You don't let people tell you what to do. That's something that I can't understand. Anyway, I better end off now. Salam alaikum.